Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Midwest Mindset. On this episode, you will be following me around as I go through the process of planting all my fall food plots. I got 5 properties that I'm going to be planting fall food plots on this year, or 4 properties, 5 food plots. A lot of guys ask me, what do you plant in the fall for your blends, Mike? I have a lot of guys reach out to me and ask me. Well, every year what I'll do is I'll get a bag of soybeans, I'll get bags of Australian winter peas, I get oats, and I will rototill in a plot like what's behind me here. You can see it's been sprayed. It was sprayed about 10 days ago. I'll come in here, I'll work this soil up real good, and then I'll go over it first with the oats, the soybeans, and the winter peas. I will broadcast them. Then I will go over it with the fertilizer. Then I will lightly till it in. And when I say lightly, I will set my setting on my rototiller, so I'm maybe getting a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch of coverage. I will even stop sometimes, get out and check the seed, make sure it's not too deep. These seeds are a little bit bigger, so you don't have as good a luck if you just broadcast them onto tilled soil. You can have some good luck if you get a heavy rain that knocks them down into the ground right after you get done doing it when the soil is nice and soft. I have had that work for me. But either way, I get way better germination and results if I just put a little bit of soil over the top of them. So that's the first part of my fall plot. Now, what my second part of my fall plot is, I go over the top with the Frosted Brassica Buffet from Double Tine Innovations. This is a brassica mix. It's got a whole bunch of different blends in it of different kind of brassicas that you plant. I'll go over the top of it and lightly spread that all the way across. Do not overseed. You do not want to overseed brassicas. If they are too close to each other, they will not reach their maximum potential. Really pay attention to the bag. This right here, this is a 4-pound bag. This is for a 1/4 acre. Do not plant that in an 1/8 of an acre. Do not plant that whole 4-pound bag in there. You will not be happy with the results. It'll look good at first, then everything will get stunted. It may even change colors on you. The radishes, the turnips, the bulbs that are in the ground will be very small, and they won't be able to reach their maximum potential. And then also, you're not getting your money's worth, because you're buying a 1/4 acre worth, and you're planting it into an 1/8 of an acre, 1/16 of an acre, and you're just not being efficient with what you're spending. So then what I like to do is, it's August 1st today here. I'm in Indiana today. We'll be planting on 2 properties in Indiana. We'll be planting on 3 properties in Michigan. And today's August 1st. I'll be planting over the next few days. And what I will do is I'll come back in 4 to 5 weeks in early September, and I will come through with winter rye. That's a smaller seed compared to an oat. It's about half the size of an oat seed. And then I will just straight up broadcast that over the top of everything. 4 to 5, you can get away with 6 weeks later if you'd like. And what you're doing is you're allowing your brassicas to get well established before you throw the rye in there, because the rye will compete with young brassicas. I've seen it firsthand. It will stunt the young brassicas, and what will happen is the rye will do just fine, but your brassicas will not. But if you give your brassicas that 4 to 6 week window to really get established, and then you do a light coating of winter rye over the top to fill any kind of gaps in the soil, it's just like that added extra benefit to your food plot. Rye is one of the only plants that will continue to grow through the winter. Anytime, I think it's like 37, 38 degrees, anytime it gets above that temperature, the rye will start to slowly grow again, even though it's been potentially grazed on. And then also, when you come out of winter in, like March, April here in the Midwest, and you start getting warmer temperatures, rye is the very first thing that greens up, gets a lot of growth to it that time of year, and the deer really gravitate towards that that gives them that little bit of gap in between when maybe your clover really starts to come out of dormancy, or your briars and just your natural vegetation here in the Midwest really start to thrive. So I'm going to take you along this episode, and we're going to look at all these different properties. I'm going to show you kind of what's going on with all of them. Today, like I said, we're in northern Indiana. We're at my reduction zone. I have had fits getting something in here the last 12 months. Last year's fall food plot, the turkeys completely wiped me out. I had so many pictures of them in here picking the seeds up the day I planted it. I came in here and frost seeded. They completely wiped that out with frost seeded clover. I didn't even think that was possible. The little bit of clover that was in here growing was only maybe 2 inches tall. I've got literally 20 to 30 turkeys that are in here all day. I have so many turkey feathers laying on the ground right now as we speak. It is ridiculous. So what I'm doing different this year is I had some snow fence left around at the house. So I brought 300 foot of snow fence, a bunch of stakes, a hammer, and after I'm done seeding this today, I am going to put a snow fence up around this food plot to the best of my ability, just to keep these stupid turkeys out of here. So one, they're not eating the seeds before they germinate, and two, they're not browsing on all the little tiny plants as they germinate. Here in this reduction zone, I can start hunting on September 15th. So I'll probably come in here about 10 days before, so the first week of September, and I will remove that fence then. But my thoughts are, if we get some good weather, then we will have, 10 to 20 inch tall plants in here, so then they can handle some of that browsing. So hopefully you are planting fall food plots this year. We hope that you're looking forward to an awesome 2024 season. We're glad you're here to watch how we go through our fall planting. All right, just got done planting fall blend out here at the house. Went ahead and broadcasted brassicas and oats into the standing bean section here in the center that has a few rows of corn in the middle. Getting a lot of browsing on the beans from groundhogs. You can see over there at the end, some of the beans are already waist high. But the electric fence is not keeping the groundhogs out like I had hoped, even though I have it right down to the ground in a lot of spots. But I went ahead and broadcasted brassicas in there with oats on these rototilled spots. I did my typical oats, beans, peas, fertilizer, rototill it in, and then lightly go over it with the brassica plot, or lightly rototill it in and then go over the top of it and overseed with the brassica blend. So got this plot done behind the house. It's looking great. We're really excited about the potential out here. Got some good deer showing up this year. Now we're on to the next plot and the next property. All right, so we're at the second stop of the day. Earlier, as you've seen, I was behind the house finishing up a food plot there, adding on to the corn and the soybean plot. This food plot behind my shoulder, this is just a little narrow strip. You can only see maybe, half, a third of it. There's quite a bit that drops off on the other side of the hill there. Planted switchgrass on both ends this year and out along the road to help screen this the bedding area that's up here on the hill, and then also screen the food plot from the road and the driveway on both ends. Tried to plant soybeans back in here in early June. Knew there was a coin flip on whether or not the deer would annihilate it. There's not real high deer populations in this area, but there's enough that if they wanted to hone in on it, they could destroy it, and that's exactly what they did. So we came back in here a couple weeks ago, got this sprayed. Now today, going to put our fall annual blend in here and be able to salvage this spot. I know they won't mess with any of that stuff. They'll let it grow. Done that out here 3 years now. Had excellent growth on that. Just wanted to try something different with the soybeans. But yeah, once we're done, we'll show you around, show you the water hole, plant a little clover along the water hole, and even show you a couple of the strips of switchgrass here on the outside edge. This fall plot's in. Right here is the thin layer of switchgrass on this end, which just got mowed this last week. I'll take you through the plot here, show you that's a decent size bigger than it looks. It's got an L shape kind of to it. And it goes up over this rise here. And then that green patch you see in the distance is another strip of RC Big Rock switchgrass. And this is actually on a, I guess it's a gas line, some kind of pipeline. So they will come through here every so often, and they're going to take all them trees out, and that's part of why we got switchgrass on this end. There's the rest of the plot, kind of goes up into this L shape. There's the water hole. There's some clover around the water hole and some weeds also. Just mowed that last week. There's the vine licking branch. So yeah, another food plot in the books. On to the next. All right, so we're at our last stop of the day today here in Michigan. Today's August 2nd. We started this fall food plot planning yesterday, August 1st in Indiana. We will finish tomorrow, August 3rd in Indiana in a different location. We are on that small little 8-acre property right down the road from my house. We added a lot more corn into this plot this year than last year. Helped to screen it off from the house. The fall plot is only going to be about half of the size of what it was last year. I don't think that's going to be a problem. The deer loved the corn so much that they really hammered the corn before they even touched the fall plot. As you can see behind me, the corn's up. Got it planted a little later than I wanted. Got it planted in early June instead of early May. Either way, I'm going to get another fertilizing on it in the next week or so. I still think we're going to get pretty adequate height out of it for the screening from the road, and then also get some ears of corn if we can get some timely rains between now and October. Also over here to my left, we will be putting a scrape post in today. I'm not going to complete it. I'm just going to put the post in and put the concrete around it in the water today. I will come back later on and drill a hole and put an oak branch in it and everything, and then at that time I will put a new Tacticam reveal facing it so we can start to get some intel out here. Haven't ran any cameras out here yet, have no idea what's here. Had some nice deer in here last year. We found out that really need to focus on this property from October 15th to November 15th. Kind of waited a little long last year, didn't really get in here until early November, and judging by the cameras we were a little late. And then once November 15th rolled around, there was so much gun hunting pressure around here, it turned into a complete ghost town. All the deer were nocturnal. Even the does that were out here for hours before dark and in the morning and daylight, they all went nocturnal due to the pressure. So learned a lesson last year, didn't harvest any deer. Definitely could have. But definitely learned that this is a very early property. You need to get in here before gun season rolls in. And so definitely learned the hard way. Had a couple nice deer in here that we would have liked to have gotten after. Maybe they're alive. Maybe this year they'll be nicer. If so, we'll definitely update you guys with some pictures and hopefully some kill photos. But yeah, so we're gonna get this tilled in. We're gonna get the brassica fall blend put in here with the peas and the beans and the oats, and then we're gonna get the post in today also. All right, fall plot is in. Got the scrape post augered in, got some concrete around it. I don't have time right now to worry about putting a branch in there, and it's going to need to be cut down. It's a good foot to 18 inches taller than I want it, but it's all ready to go. We're going to have the branch coming off this way, and right up there is the tree stand. up in that big white oak, or good sized white oak, maybe 20 yards. They already naturally scrape on this one oak tree right here, but we're just adding to it. We're gonna I already cut all the low hanging branches on the whole entire field edge, because last year there was a few spots they scraped. I want them to focus on right here, and I'll be facing that branch in such a manner to get us a quartering away perfect broadside shot. Probably just gonna take one of these oak branches off this low hanging here. I'm gonna set the Tacticam up right over here on one of these trees when I come back and set the scrape up, so I can get some updates on what's using this. But yeah, it's looking good. I don't know if you can hear in the video or not, but it's getting dark skies. You're hearing some thunder and rumbling in the background. Fingers crossed we get a good soaker the rest of the day on all these food plots that have been put in the last 24 hours. And we'll be down in Indiana tomorrow. I've got 3 more food plots on one property to put in down there. Hey guys, August 3rd, third day in a row of planting food plots. Getting the last 3 done today on this permission piece over in northeast Ohio, or Indiana. Been in here several hours today getting the trails and everything mowed. That's part of how this is a permission piece, is to be able to keep doing some work out here for the landowner in exchange for hunting rights. This little spot behind me, you can see it's been sprayed about 2 weeks ago. Some of the clover didn't really die, which that kind of happens, which isn't a big deal. We're going to till it up, going to get it planted in our fall blend. Got a Tacticam sitting right over here with a solar panel, so we're going to be able to know what's going on this plot as we lead up to season. I've got a stand over here to the northeast side of this food plot, and I actually have another stand at the southeast side of this food plot. They're only 80, 100 yards away from each other, but yet they are also beneficial for different times of the day and different wind. I can get into this same spot. This is a spot where I really like to hunt. I got a lot of CRP bedding over here and behind me. Got great big woods to the north of the food plot, big woods to the east of the food plot, a lot of bedding all around, ag to the southeast, and this is just a dynamite location. Had a lot of great hunts in here over the years, and hoping that we have some more great hunts this year. So we're going to get this planted. Got a couple other spots that we're going to get planted out here today. We're going to show you guys a little bit of footage for those two. If you guys haven't already, hit subscribe if you're on YouTube, hit like, share, rate us on Carbon TV. You guys know the drill here. Just whatever you can do to help get us some exposure, we appreciate it. Like and follow session on all social media platforms. We appreciate it.